Can you show me the Junior's last tweet in regards to Truth Network coming out? I think he just posted this. Time for some truth. Breaking. This was Donald Trump's first post on Truth Social. Get ready. Your favorite president. We'll see you soon. I mean, he's always humble. It's such a unique quality of his. But get ready, your favorite president will see you soon. And that's out there with Truth Social. Now, Truth Social would be more of a competitor to you guys as well as to Twitter, right? Would you say Truth Social
the way that I think you got to look at it isn't so much of here's one pie that the alternative platforms have and they're challenging each other, and then here's the big tech. And the reason why is Facebook actually lost followers this last quarter. First time ever that they've had a drop where they've lost people. Twitter, as the Washington Post said, I think it was Megan McArdle had a great op-ed, said their business model is misery. People just, the experience on Twitter of just being so negative and nasty. Functionality is great. Twitter's a well-oiled machine functionality-wise, but just it's so negative. A lot of people are turned off from that. One thing to keep in mind is when President Trump was deplatformed, and I know this from my own market research, about 20 to 25% of his followers, his voters domestically from 2020, quit social media. Didn't necessarily delete their accounts, but they stopped using social media. They were frustrated. They were turned off. They said, this is all rigged by
20%.
Big Tech. Of his voters, yes. So he had, just under 75 million people, about 20 to 25%, somewhere right in between there.
Now it makes sense why he's never on Twitter.
Here's what happens. When President Trump announced in October of this last year that he was going to launch True Social, over the next 10 days, we had a 135% increase in signups versus the previous 10 days. Because here's what's happening. People are coming off the sidelines, and they're saying what's available, what's here. We're here right now. True Social is not. When President Trump gets back in, I think it's going to get a lot more people saying, you know what, maybe now's the time. This is the genesis. This is the spark point to go and look at other platforms that are not called big tech. So this isn't just a matter of us fighting over some small pie. Twitter and Facebook are going to lose a lot of people to both True Social and to us, and maybe even some other platforms when Trump gets in and starts getting people jazzed up. And here's the other thing to keep in mind. Facebook and Twitter, it's not like they're taking their foot off the pedal. Facebook in particular launched their quote-unquote global anti-misinformation effort, which means that anyone having an election in 2022, Philippines, Colombia, Brazil, France, they're going around and essentially picking winners and losers, doing their warning labels, doing the same nonsense that they did with U.S. elections. So they're continuing to drive people away on a daily basis.
Can you pull up the article from Reuters with Trump about Truth Social? So Trump's opens for hundreds of testers ahead of expected launch. Go. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I want to read this. I haven't read this yet. So Reuters, details about former President Donald Trump's new social media app are trickling out as about 500 beta testers have begun using an early version of Truth Social. Two sources told Reuters the testing of Truth Social comes a year after Trump was banned from Facebook, Twitter, and Alphabet. His new media and technology venture, Trump has pledged to deliver an engaging and censorship-free experience on the app, which Chief Executive Devin Nunes has said will launch by the end of March. Truth remains shrouded in secrecy and is regarded skepticism by some in tech and media circles. See, the challenge with this is, he got a guy to go join him, which is one of the most powerful guys in tech. What is Peter Thiel doing resigning from Facebook board to go join him, a libertarian that wants to go join him? He must know something others don't. A guy like him is not going to go somewhere if he doesn't think it's going to be a winning formula. And if he goes, he can probably make some phone calls to recruit the best of the best engineers because he's connected with everybody. And they don't come as smart as that guy does. That guy's he doesn't want attention. He's low-key. He doesn't want to get out there and talk. He just wants to deliver. And so that guy teaming up with him, and I know you're saying this is going to help our platform, but the only way I think it would is if Trump was actually active on Getter, because if a user, one of the most annoying thing about a user is the following. Here's what users are getting annoyed with. A user wakes up and is like, look, I used to just have to check Facebook. Now I got to check Facebook. Then I got to check Twitter. Then I got to check YouTube. Then I got to check Instagram. Then I got to check LinkedIn. Then I got to check TikTok. Then I got to check. Now I got to check GitHub. Now I got to. It's so many things for me to check off, right? So don't you think this guy going out there and doing what he does, it could possibly, because this is what a lot of people are saying, it could possibly hurt some of the other startup platforms out there like yours, or maybe even a Rumble?
So, well, that's the thing. Teal is a big backer of Rumble. And so,
I know he is 50.
And so,
yeah.
right. And so, one of the things also you got to keep in mind, Teal leaving Facebook or Meta, whatever they're calling themselves now, it's not as though he's leaving Meta to go do something Trump. He's leaving. I think you have to go and bifurcate the two. Here's the reason why. Facebook's a dying company. I mean, even Zuckerberg said that they're going to lose 45% of their audience 18 and under over the next 2 years. I mean, kids don't have Facebook. They have Snapchat and TikTok. That's where they're going to.
Well, Instagram too, and they own Instagram.
And they said, so this is kind of where I'm getting to on the functionality. Instagram Reels, and this is per Zuckerberg's most recent quarterly investor report. Instagram Reels, the short video format, drives about 60% of their engagement. That's anyone coming to any of the broader Instagram, Facebook properties. It's for Instagram Reels. That's what that's what we launched yesterday.
Because they're hyping those up, and they're basically.
But that's working because that's kind of like TikTok. Reels go viral. Reels can take off. So,
and we actually just launched yesterday. Again, the beta testing as we start to scale up Vision, which is our short video format. So that's why I said initially we're competitors with Twitter and Facebook. Now we're launching a product that ultimately will go head to head with TikTok, Instagram Reels. And this is even before we get to say the Get or Pay as we go into the crypto payment platform we have. The other thing we have that's really popular right now is live streaming. And just to give you a sense of the scope, when President Trump had his rally in Arizona last month, 1 million people, technically 996,000, but I'll round up to 1 million. 1 million people watched President Trump's rally on Getter over 3 different channels. You had Right Side, you had Newsmax, and you had Real America's Voice. Those combined, so 1 million out of our 4.5 million were watching Trump's rally. When he had his rally then in Conroe, Texas, 2 weeks later, over 700,000. The live streaming dynamic that we've added in has been gangbusters, not just here, but globally as well.
Yeah, that's my concern because that's all going to be on Truth if he does that. I think it's a long play because even Truth, it's not an easy thing to just build something up.
I would be surprised. I would be surprised. I have not seen from any of the beta testers that they have live streaming in the near future.
But they'll eventually have it. They'll set that up.
But also, you got to keep in mind. At least I'm kind of tooting my own horn here. We have the short vision the short video clip format, which is again that's where people are doing the fun dances and all this stuff. That's what all the younger folks are to. That's now. I haven't seen that within the beta testing for Truth. But then where we're going, ultimately, keep in mind. Where Truth wants to go, and this is from their public deck, they want to be an entertainment and media creation company. They want to create content. That's if you take a look at the deck, that's where they want to go. We're going as more into the financial services and payment platform and crypto aspect, and so there are going to be areas of commonality. But here's the other thing too: when you talk about people opening up multiple apps, multiple social media platforms. Right now, people are looking and saying, yes, you have your Twitter, your Facebook, your others. I'm not so sure that as these new platforms, ours, True Social, and others start to pop up, that people can say, you know what? I have these platforms I like. I don't need to go to Twitter anymore. I don't need to go to Facebook anymore. I'll open up maybe Truth. Maybe I'll open up Getter. Maybe someone will open up Parler, Rumble, whatever the case. Those are the ones I'm doing. I don't need to worry about the old big tech platforms who are censoring me politically.
Yeah. I told this to Chris, if you remember when we were talking, I said, the what's going to help today is you got to get something on your show, on your platform that I can only get on your platform, right? Like what you were talking about with earlier conversation we're having with you being a pundit at a couple of different places, and one of the places you were expressing what the terms and conditions was is. For example, why did I go to Spotify? I've never downloaded Spotify until Rogan went on Spotify. I've never downloaded Spotify ever in my life until Rogan went there. Then I said, I'm going to go to Spotify, right? Bill Maher, to me right now, is one of the most valuable voices out there because, believe it or not, I think he is a voice of reason, right? You got
That's also a reflection of how off track the American
totally
political
get
left
it.
has
I love
gone.
what he said. You always say it. He says, I didn't change. You changed.
Yeah.
I've been the same for the last 30 years.
I'm still the same old pot smoking,
yeah.
hippie, liberal, whatever.
So I think he's very necessary. I think our Russell Brand is very necessary. I think
Jon Stewart.
Oh my gosh! If he came out of retirement, whoever was able to pick him up, that guy's
your good friend Hassan Minhaj.
Hassan Minhaj is one of the highly requested guys to be on the podcast. Guys want to have Hassan Minhaj, funny guy. Yeah. So these guys are necessary. I think, like, I think the battle is very similar to Hulu, Netflix, HBO, Showtime. Like, when Sacha Baron Cohen had his show on Showtime, I'm like, give me a damn break. I got to go order
you
the Showtime app, right?
Yeah.
When, what's his name? Shia LaBeouf, one of my favorite actors, his story that he made that movie about the story of his father, Honey Boy, something like
Honey
that.
Boy.
It was only on Amazon. I had to go get Amazon's app on my TV to see it, right? But House of Cards is why I joined Netflix first. If there wasn't House of Cards, I would have never downloaded Netflix, right? So it got me in through House of Cards. So all I'm saying is, I think this guy's not a guy that's going to be a lightweight to go out there and do what he's doing, Trump, because he's preparing his campaign for 2024. And you know more than I know. He's running. It's not like he ain't going to run.
Oh, I spent 3 hours with him yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
So I went and visited him at Mar-a-Lago. And,
I'm going to go see him this afternoon, so that's great. I'll tell him.
Excellent.
Hey.
Yeah, so he's kidding, by the way. He's not a guy that's but although he had his best podcast a couple of days ago, but he said people were blown away by it. But the reason why I say this is,
reasonable people out there.
I think you need someone to be a face that I can only get on Getter, and you got to spend some money to get somebody like that.
So I think to that point, I think they're yes, you're exactly right on.
I may be wrong. I'm just speculating.
No, you're right on a big part
That's
of it.
Pat pitching you to, hey, give us some money. We'll head
No,
over.
not at all. I'm not
Totally
asking
kidding.
about us. I'm
Totally
not
kidding.
at all
But
zero.
here's the thing: when we bring on the content creators and we're able to, and again, we'll undercut the competition and come in. They're allowing to keep that much more money, literally being 50% to 100% less than what anyone else has charged them to take the rip off of it. That's going to be a driver for a lot of content creators. We are pursuing some additional partnership deals to have some of that creative, but also to your point just about people having to bounce around to different platforms. Mm-hmm. With ours, if you have the microblogging, if you have the short video, essentially the TikTok, the Instagram Reels type, you have the live streaming, then you also have this crypto and the payment platform aspect. That then makes it the all-in-one free speech platform.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.